Okay, here we go. Manufacturers Cup GT World Series Exhibition 2. So right off the bat, in the second turn, we get a little drama. You see it here. And I went back and watched the replay. It looked like the Genesis just ran the Supra wide and took himself out. The Supra had nowhere to go. You can see back there, he took himself out of the race. So this event runs from yesterday, October 5th to Saturday, October 26th. It consists of 4 races. Obviously this one, Dragon Trail, Gardens Reverse. Second race is Trial Mountain Circuit. Third is Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and the last one is Nürburgring Endurance, which I kind of wish that one was the Nordschleifer. I like that one a lot. So I wasn't even going to do this, but I went to sport mode and saw it. I had like an hour, maybe like an hour and a half till entry. So I figured I'd get some practice laps in and see where I stood. And I think I was running 132s, maybe a couple high 131s. So I figured I could be a little competitive. So I jumped in, qualified P2 obviously. I think I did like a 132 flat, and this guy in P1, Bounds 007, I think he did like a 131, a high 131, 131.9. So he was a little bit faster. I mean, I only did like a half an hour practice. I probably could have got 131s consistently in practice. But I think I did all right, 132. I mean, I don't really do that many online races anymore. I do like a lot of time trials and liveries now. So if I practice more, I could probably be a little bit faster with the online races. But I noticed what it comes down to is just being consistent. If you could run consistent laps, to me it's not even so much if you're the fastest on a track, just consistency. Consistent laps over and over, clean, no penalties. So, I mean, this guy was fast coming out of the turns. He had definitely way faster exit speed, but I was catching him into the turns. I mean, the Porsche's got way better braking. I think it carries more speed through the corners, but I mean, you can see here that Supra just takes off. It's like it's shot out of a cannon here, especially in that last turn. But at the end of the day, you just got to race your race. Can't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just do you. Try to stay clean. I mean, he probably gained a 10th or so on that straightaway, and I just got it right back in the first turn, first and second turn. So my goal here was just to keep the pressure on him. I figured if I could do that, he'll make a mistake eventually. I noticed in these curbs here, if you could get the inside tires just over the curbing, you'll carry way more speed through this section. It just sets you up for the next turn. I catch up a little bit here in the hairpin. Once again, in the straightaways, he just pulls a little bit, gains maybe a half a tenth to a tenth. And here he was hitting the red curbing. He was trying to split it, which I couldn't do consistently coming out of that straightaway with the speed. The second curb I could hit and split it. If you don't hit them just right, the car gets unstable and you're just kind of all over the place. You'll lose a tenth or so, maybe even a little bit more. So that's why I didn't really try to hit the first one in the chicane. The second one, I was hitting it, and it just sets up your entry for the next turn, and then the last turn carrying more speed. So here you go. Right here is a prime example of what I was talking about earlier, about not having to be the fastest guy on the track. I ran a 132.7 the last lap. P3 behind me ran a 132.267 and then immediately took himself out in the second turn. So you don't have to be the fastest, you just got to run consistent laps and stay clean. That's all you got to do. So once he took himself out, I wasn't worried about anybody from behind. I mean, we were probably a few seconds ahead of him at this point. And then my main goal after that was just to push the pace, keep the pressure on P1, and hope he makes a mistake. Try not to fight too much so nobody catches up from behind, and just push the pace. Right there was pretty much perfect. No bounce, no anything. And you're set up for your last two corners. Carry way more speed if you can hit that chicane right. I struggled through this section the whole time, and I just couldn't get it right. There was one time you'll see later on, I think it was one lap, maybe two laps, I got to the red paint out there. It really didn't mess me up too bad, but I think you lose like a tenth or so. Like I said, this whole section, if you can get your inside tires over that curbing, you just carry way more speed through this whole section. You kind of want to get your tires up into the grass a little bit. Get into a little rhythm going through there. Like I said, he kept on hitting this curb. It would throw him off. I really don't see the benefit to it unless you're that accurate. You could hit him every time and go for it. I just couldn't. Coming into the braking zone with that much speed into the first corner. Just really wasn't worth it to me. Because if you hit them wrong, you're losing a tenth, maybe more. And I was running medium tires here, and I honestly think you could pit a lap earlier, because you don't lose that much time with the racing hards. So I mean, I was still running like 33s, maybe low 134s on the hards. I was pretty consistent with those as well. See right there, you just hit that curbing wrong. You're all over the place. And I was right on him here. I probably could have got a pass there. I just didn't want to fight much. I figure I just keep the pressure on. Eventually he'll make a mistake. I mean, right about here, that left front tire is pretty much shot. So I think I could have pit maybe a lap earlier, got on the hards and been just fine. Just getting a little bit more understeer as the lap goes on. You'll see right here, exact reason why I don't try to hit that first curb going into the chicane. It's a prime example. He just lost it. I think his tires were pretty much shot too. From there on out, I didn't look back. So right there you can see my tires are pretty much shot. I probably could have pit this lap. I think I pit on the 10th lap, which I should have pit here. Because my tires are shot. And like I said, I wasn't running that bad on the hards. I think I was running low 134s, a few 133s on the racing hard tires. I don't think you really gain much doing another lap on the mediums, because they're pretty much shot by now. Ideally I should have been running mid to low 33s on the hards and probably low 32s, maybe 31s on the medium tires. With a little more practice I probably could have been had a little faster pace. Once you get up in these higher ranking lobbies like the A+s, you gotta be going faster. I mean, them guys are probably running 31s, 30s in the race, I would imagine. Man, you want to talk about consistency. This pit crew is good, man. Same pit time every time. Never drop a lug, never trip over the hoses. Nothing. Perfect every time. Give them freaking guys a raise, huh? They're good. Bunch of studs. So right here, you gotta be careful. A little oversteer. Every time you're coming out of the pits, cold tires, go easy. Very easily spin around. Give it like half a lap. Usually by the end of the first lap out of the pits, tires are warmed up and you can push again. Just gotta be a little careful coming out of the pits. See, right here, Bounds is pitting on the 11th lap. And I'm pretty sure his tires were shot on lap 8 when he crashed. So, I mean, I don't think there's any benefit to staying on the mediums when they're that shot. Pit early, get onto the harder compound tires. You're going to run the same lap times. That's just my opinion, but you'll see here towards the end of the race, I was running 33s, I think, on the hards without struggling. Like I said, I probably could have did a little bit better with some practice. I mean, honestly, I had a pretty easy lobby here. And the only two guys that were even a threat were P2 and P3. I mean, they were putting up decent times or a decent lap each. But none of that really matters if you can't keep it on the dance floor. You know, you gotta stay consistent. Keep it on the track. Don't get any penalties. It helps to have a good qualifier too. If you get a good qualifying time, start at the front, towards the front, that helps. So work on your qualifying. When you start mid-pack or towards the back, you're driving with the animals. I think, I look back to the replay, I think Ray Tango took out a couple guys, so there was some drama throughout the race in the middle of the pack. I think the Argentinian took out a couple guys. He definitely dive bombed at least one guy and took out another guy. So that's what you're dealing with if you don't get a good qualifying time. And I mean, he ended up finishing, I think, P3. So, I mean, dirty, which is always a shame. Can't stand guys like that. But luckily you get up to the higher ranking lobbies, the AA pluses, there's not too many of those guys. You may get one or two a race, sometimes if that. At least for me, I've been pretty lucky. Like I said earlier, I don't do that many online races anymore. So, I mean, I had one a couple weeks ago, I think it was Deep Forest. Just randomly hopped on and got a race in. It was probably one of the best races I've ever freaking raced. I made a video of it. Go check it out. Got podium P3. It was literally photo finish. I don't know how I got it. It's a pretty good video. Good race. It was fun. Now maybe that car isn't as good. Maybe his mediums are wearing a little bit. I don't remember. But yeah, you could do decent times on the hard tires on this track during this round. So you'll see here the last few laps, I was getting 33s. I probably should have been getting mid to low 33s on the hards the whole time. Maybe even a high 32. And I should have been getting low 32s. Maybe even a high 31 on the mediums. But that just comes with practice. I just don't do enough daily races, online races anymore. Maybe I'll get back into it. We'll see. that's that. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope the commentary wasn't too bad. It's the first time ever doing it. I'm a complete freaking moron, so bear with me. The livery I used, the livery design was from made by B. Sonder Tiger. Check them out. Like, subscribe, share the video. Enjoy the outro. Later.